Oh my goodness. We're off to a great start. My shirt and everything just dropping down from my chair. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream.
Ik heb een vraag. Want ik heb inkleringskasten.
Dat had je niet op een slechte moment kunnen...
Oh.
Ik begin echt letterlijk net met livestreamen, maar goed.
Ik heb inklaringskosten.
Sorry about that. I was hoping we would just be able to start right away, but then my mom suddenly needed some help with some shit that I'm amazed she even needs help for. But anyway, that's not especially important for the time being. We're gonna play some Minecraft today. And for that, I reckon it would be really helpful if I actually had the game open, but we will probably get to that a little bit later. Why did I want to play Minecraft today? Well, because I thought it was just a nice little thing, just to chill out a little bit. That's what most of the PhoenixStarYT channel has been for a hot minute now. Like, I think the last couple of videos that I've done were almost exclusively Minecraft related. Or it was just me playing a little bit of Minecraft while telling some kind of a story behind it or whatever. There was only really one exception to that, and that was the retro games video that I did. Which is probably one of my most proudest productions on the entire channel, to be honest. For obvious reasons, I put so much effort into that one. Maybe I put a lot more effort into that one than I should have. But you know, it's definitely a production that I'm really, really proud of still, for obvious reasons. Also, I want to figure something out with this microphone, because I've had my microphone like this for quite some time. I don't know why I'm doing this right now, but oh well. Alright. There we go. Alright. That should hopefully do it. Oh, shit. No. Stop. Why do you keep doing this, you piece of crap? Yeah. I didn't get the highest quality microphone arm I could get. Okay, so that's what I wanted. So what I wanted was for my microphone to be back a little bit farther, just so that it won't be in the way too much, because I constantly bumping into it with my head, because apparently my head is so freaking large I keep bumping into it. The primary issue that I have with this is the pop filter, which I also just am not a huge fan of. Because it's honestly just a little bit large. It's definitely not the best solution ever for it, but whatever. But yeah, microphone arm, not the greatest in the world. But that was not necessarily because it didn't really come with the microphone. I didn't get a microphone arm for it, but it's definitely not my best purchase in the world, this microphone arm. Because it just doesn't want to stay put where I put it. But oh well. That's, there's just a lot of banter at the start of this freaking live stream for literally no reason other than shit just kind of happens that way. But hey, that's par for the course when you're watching a Koen's Corner live stream. So what I wanted to talk about today is something that is really, really close to my heart. And if you've been watching, or if you've been following me on Blue Sky, you know what it is. Because we're going to talk about live action remakes today. Specifically Disney remakes. And kind of the state of the animation industry as a whole right now when it comes to feature films. And I want to be very clear about that. I'm specifically talking about feature films and not necessarily TV shows or whatever, because that's a completely different ballpark. That I honestly don't know if I should be the one to tackle that. So, for this I actually just want to go to my letterboxd real quick, which I should probably update a little bit more, because I don't really use this that often, mainly because I just haven't really been watching that many movies lately, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, actually the last time I actually went to watch a movie was back in May. Almost a month ago. That's... oh. I mean, for me, that is a long time to not have having seen a proper movie in full. That is one thing. I don't really post on here unless I watch a movie in full. But anyway, that's a minor thing. So you might notice that my last couple of reviews were Lilo and Stitch and Snow White, both of which I gave relatively high scores. Lilo and Stitch I probably should not have given as high of a score as I did, like 3.5 stars. That's probably a little bit too generous. But I was honestly just... maybe I was just a little bit too into it. In the sense that I went to see this in the theaters, and I'm gonna be honest, I have a certain bias towards films that I see in theaters. Because a lot of films that I see in theaters, I just end up loving a lot more than if I was to see them at home in front of a TV screen. Because the whole thing just feels a lot more grandiose, a lot bigger, a lot more... How do you explain that? But I don't know. there's just something to the experience of going to a movie theater that just makes me like a movie a lot more than I would if I was to see it at home. So I was certain bias towards that. So maybe I was just really excited about seeing it in the theater. When I look back on it, and when I actually think about the movie itself and its actual quality, I'm a lot more like, I don't know, there was maybe I was just being a little bit too nice, a little bit too generous towards it, but who is to say? I need to rewatch the movie to actually get my thoughts completely straight on it, and maybe I should also see the original for that. So, yeah, there's a good chance that... I don't even know if I can edit this review, but I don't think I really can. It does not look like it. Those are filters for these things. I don't think I can edit my... Oh yeah, I can edit my review. Okay. So, if I ever wanted to do that, then I can. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about specifically about live-action remakes is what the future has in store for them. And what I mean by that is live-action remakes this last year have become more than a little bit ridiculous. I mean, we've seen Snow White, which is a movie that I personally really, really loved. And I like it a lot more than I initially thought I would. I think it's fun. I think it's imaginative. It's not a shot-for-shot remake, which is something I genuinely am really pleased by. At the very least, tries to distinguish itself from the original to some degree. Which obviously it only can to some extent, but it is at the very least trying to do something a little bit more interesting. But, like, let's actually just look into what remakes are coming out, Disney remakes coming out. Because this is getting more than a little bit ridiculous. We've already had Snow White. We've already had Lilo and Stitch. Apparently, there's a sequel coming up to the Cruella movie, which I personally did not see Cruella. Because I like Cruella de Vil. I think she's cool. I really liked Cruella in the remake of 101 Dalmatians. I thought that was a really great interpretation of the character. Giving Cruella a backstory and giving that backstory a sequel seems really... I don't know, it seems really bizarre to me. And I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense. I did not bother seeing that movie as a result. I didn't really have enough interest in it to want to see that. Moana remake is one that I have so many mixed feelings about. I do think it has potential. But the problem is that, for one thing, the original didn't come out that long ago. It was only in 2016 that it came out. So to remake it so early, if you think about it, most of Disney remakes that have come out, at the very least, are 20 years old. Most of the movies that the remakes are based on are at least 20 years old. This is not even a decade old. So it's... And also the sequel to the original came out not that long ago either. Which, by the way, was a really not great movie. I didn't like the sequel to Moana as much as I liked the original. Like, giving Maui a really disappointingly bland song, I think is really upsetting. Not a fan. Apparently a Hercules remake is coming out. I mean, I like Hercules. It's a fine movie, but maybe that could work? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Bambi is genuinely unnecessary to remake. There is nothing at all. There is no reason at all for a remake of this to exist. I mean, the same could be said for all of these. The same could be said for Lilo and Stitch and for Moana. Mufasa the Lion King definitely never needed to exist. I don't know why it exists. Nobody wanted this to exist. And to be perfectly honest, I also just think that the movie is really not good. It's better than the 2019 remake, I can tell you that much, but that's a really low bar at this point. So, I don't know. It just seems strange to me that they would remake this of all movies. Oh no. The Jungle Book 2, it's not just a live-action remake, it's a sequel to a live-action remake. No! What are you doing? I don't even know. Oh! Oh no. A Robin Hood remake. How are you gonna make that work? How are you gonna do that? Oh. No. I mean, look. If there's one thing that I would love to see, it's a good Robin Hood remake, but you know it's not gonna be. If Mufasa and the Lion King remakes were anything to go off of, this is not gonna work. Unless you really make the animals look as cartoony as humanly possible. This is... Oh, God. That's a brilliant idea, isn't it? Making a Robin Hood remake of all things. Notre Dame, Sword in the Stone. Oh. Oh. This is all just... Okay. Robin Hood is getting remade for Disney Plus. Yeah, I figured that was gonna be the case. Okay. Yeah. So here is my big issue with all of these remakes and why they exist. And it's that Disney is rapidly running out of movies to be remade. And you can tell that just from this small list that I just went over. Because what reason could they possibly have to make a Cruella sequel? What reason could they have to make a Bambi remake? What reason could they have to make Jungle Book 2? And no, I do not accept money to be a valid excuse. Because Disney is actively losing money with a lot of these remakes that they are making. Not all of them. The Lilo and Stitch remake was immensely successful. I also believe that Snow White was pretty successful. Yeah, didn't exactly succeed very well in the box office. So Snow White was not a huge success. And a lot of other remakes that came out were not as big of a success either. I believe Lilo and Stitch was one of their most successful remakes yet. Yeah, it had a budget of 80 million. It made nearly $274 million at the box office. So this was a pretty big success, I think. I don't know what really qualifies as a huge success and what doesn't. Also, what the fuck is this poster? Oh wait, this is of the original. My bad. I need to look up the 2025 remake. Let's see. Yeah, this one was massive. $861 million at the box office. So Lilo and Stitch was a massive success. But we all know that we all know why that is. Lilo and Stitch is one of the most, if not the most beloved Disney movie of all time. It's more beloved than Lion King, which is impressive. It's more beloved than Notre Dame, Hunchback of Notre Dame. More than frickin' Mulan, Beauty and the Beast even, and so many other Disney classics. People were gonna see the Lilo and Stitch remake regardless if it deserves to exist or not. So, you know, or regardless if people wanted to see it. Like, it was gonna be successful no matter which way you swing it. So, hey, if that's how it be, then that's how it be. But no, because of how much money Disney loses these days with making the remakes that they do, I don't believe that money is necessarily the reason why Disney continues to make these movies. Especially Snow White was a pretty massive failure on their part. Even though I personally really like it. I think it's a fine movie for what it is. It's not perfect. But does it need to be? No, I don't think so. Now, what I am personally really concerned about is the fact that DreamWorks came out recently with a How to Train Your Dragon remake, which would not be as big of an issue if it wasn't for the fact that this movie also appears to be largely successful, and we all know why that is. It's How to Train Your Dragon. People love these movies. And you know, if that's you, all the power to you. If you like this movie, then hey, that's completely understandable. They're not making a huge amount of money, but then again, the movie is only... It hasn't been out for a while. It only just released, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But it already is making a good amount of money, from what I can tell. So, but the point is that this now exists, and it is going to be making a good amount of money for DreamWorks. And DreamWorks is so confident in these that they are already thinking of remaking Part 2 and Part 3, both of the sequels to this. And from what I have seen, this remake is basically a shot-for-shot remake of the original, and you know for a fact that the sequels are going to be the same way. So, and let's be perfectly real. We all know that they are going to be just as successful as this, if not more so, because people love the sequels, and some people like the sequels even more than they like the original. So these movies are gonna make a shit ton of money, and if DreamWorks is anything like Disney, which I hope, dear frickin' Okami, that is not the case. If they are anything like Disney, they are going to continue to remake many, many, many more of their classic films. Which is going to be a massive problem, considering that DreamWorks doesn't really use human characters for a lot of their movies. The majority of them are mythical creatures or they're animals. So, if you were to remake a lot of those movies and make them look as realistic as possible, like what Disney likes to do a lot, you're gonna end up with some of the worst abominations ever put on display in cinema. And I do not want us to get to that point at all. I'm not gonna lie. So what is that going to mean for, basically, excuse me. What I'm concerned about with all of this is what this is going to mean for the animation industry as a whole. Because we already had Disney for the longest time making live-action remakes, pretty much ever since, I want to say, the 1990s. They started doing that. And when they first started, they were pretty successful. And as time went on, they would just get worse and worse and worse reception, of course, because the movies also just ended up getting worse and worse as time went on. Although I personally like a couple of them, I can literally count the remakes that I actually like on a single paw, and that is not a good sign. So, one big issue that I have with this, though, the fact that How to Train Your Dragon is gonna become a success, and that DreamWorks is already planning on remaking the sequels as well, is that we could be nearing the end of the animation industry in cinema as a whole at this point, which is something that I was honestly just really hoping that would never be the case, that animation in film would slowly but surely die out the way that it currently is. Because the thing is, it's not just the movies themselves that are getting progressively worse as time goes on. It's not just the fact that Disney and DreamWorks seemingly just... I'm sorry, there's just a lot of shouting in the house right now. There is so much... Good freaking lord, I don't know what's going on over there, but it's getting a little bit crazy. It's not just the movies themselves. It's what they represent to a lot of people watching in the audience, but also to what they represent for the companies themselves. Because a lot of people, myself included, have seen these movies, and we are seeing what exactly is going on with them. That they all try way too hard to take themselves seriously, or they are just trying really, really hard to tell the exact same story that they already told a lot better previously, but completely missed the point on every single step of the way. Which sucks because these stories never really needed to be redone to begin with. There's only a handful that I think would have been worth remaking if they do a good job at it. I think that Snow White was an example of a movie that they actually did a pretty good job with. But the problem is that I am really alone in that regard, because a lot of people saw this movie and still believe that they were missing the point, that they didn't respect the original, that that this is rock bottom for Disney. And I don't personally agree with any of that, but you know, that's a totally different story. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit later, but or another day. But it's just what is a lot more frustrating. I don't mind the Snow White remake, like I said. I really like it, but Lilo and Stitch doesn't really do it for me. It was never gonna do it for me personally, because I was never really that big of a fan of the original to begin with, to be honest, but that's another story entirely. The How to Train Your Dragon remake, in particular, really does not sit right with me. That the fact that it even exists to begin with. Because it doesn't give me a lot of hope for the animation industry as a whole. I would love for studios to just keep coming up with more original and fun ideas. One of the things that I always appreciated about DreamWorks was the fact that they didn't care about the norm. They didn't care about what everyone else was doing, and they didn't follow along with them. That has now changed with the How to Train Your Dragon remake. And if these movies, if the entire trilogy ends up being successful, they're gonna keep going. And DreamWorks, as it was, could potentially turn into what Disney has become today. And I'm specifically talking about the studio Disney, not the Walt Disney Company as a whole, because that's a whole other can of worms that I am not even prepared to get into whatsoever. I'm specifically talking about the studio and the creatives behind that. The last thing that I would want to see is for DreamWorks to become the very thing that people have come to hate in the last couple of decades. Like, let's just take a moment for a second. Let's just take a second and actually think this through. Would anyone want to see a remake of the Trolls trilogy? I mean, I'm a fan of these movies. I don't know anyone else who is a fan of this, but I am. But you know, if they end up remaking these, that would honestly be hilarious. And please, if you're gonna pull a Disney on us, DreamWorks, just go all out on it. Get Justin Timberlake, get the entirety of NSYNC back together again to make these remakes. That would be utterly hilarious. But yeah, that was just a little vent that I wanted to do in this real quick. And this is probably the last time that I will be venting about anything Disney live action remake related. I do really want to make a video on that Snow White remake and talk about why I like it as much as I do, because I do really, really like it, and I think that a lot of the shit that it has received is a little bit blown out of proportion. But hey, that's just me. Let's forget about that right now and get to the thing that I reckon most of you guys came to me for this live stream. Let's see, what shall we do? I have 4 versions of Minecraft at my disposal here. Also, if I keep putting my fingers in my ear, my ear is a little bit clogged up, so I can't hear particularly well with my right ear right now, and I keep trying to unclog it, I guess. Isn't really working for me. Let's actually just play a little bit of vanilla. Because, why not? We could potentially get into some modded Minecraft a little bit later, but we'll see what we'll do. I know you're seeing a black screen right now, but that should be fixed in a couple of seconds from now. Oh, I just realized I did not do this. There we go. That should do it. Okay. Let me just disable this resource pack real quick and enable programmer's art, because I don't know about you guys, but I like the programmer's art. I think it's a really cool one. And I'm really glad that they decided to add that in, because there's something really nostalgic about the old school look of this game. Now here comes the fun part. Shall we play on the Minecraft server, which you can join via the address in the description down below? Or should I play a minigame on any of these Minecraft servers that I'm currently on? I could also potentially just join a random Minecraft server that I find on any given server list. You know what? Let's get a little bit adventurous. Let's get a little bit adventurous. I'm feeling adventurous. Okay. This is a little bit crazy, but hear me out, okay? Give me a small list of Minecraft servers with, let's go with 1 block. Give me a small list of Minecraft servers with 1 block. I asked for a small list. Oh my goodness. What? Okay. I did not realize that ChatGPT was already becoming this advanced, that it started doing stuff like this, putting shit in a grid. Alright, let's just join the first server that they have available to us, which is OP Blocks. Never heard of it. Oh! Wait, why? Am I seeing that right? ChatGPT? Are these actual sources? Oh shit! I didn't even know that. Okay, so I need to try something out now that I made a discovery of a lifetime. I had no idea that ChatGPT was already becoming this advanced. I need to ask something. Yeah, don't mind all of the crap that I have over here. This is all very, very old stuff. What was Albert Einstein's... I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT something completely bullshitty. Actually, no. What character in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic came to be known as Ditsy Doo? After getting a load of controversy from audiences. The character you're referring to is Derpy Hoos. I'm very curious to see if it actually will give me a source for all of this information. Oh, it doesn't give me any sources for this. That's a shame. I was actually kind of hoping that it would give me sources for all of these, but anyway. That was just a random thing that I wanted to check. Alright. Let's check out this. It's got a maximum of 3,000 players. The server is almost completely full. Which I was definitely not expecting, because I thought that one block was kind of dying out. I remember when one block first released, when it first started, it was... Okay. Thanks for... my mouse just went completely haywire there. I remember one block being insanely popular for a while. But then, at a certain point, it just stopped. It was just gone. And I don't really know how that happens. Okay. It has Cobblemon? But that probably won't work if I wanted to join this in a vanilla version of the game, unless they have a plugin for it, which I highly doubt. Okay, it has Skyblock. It also has a regular survival server with MCMMO, claims, guilds, custom bosses. Okay. MCMMO is crazy, the fact that that even exists still. Okay. I always love these little things. They're just so fun. Alright. And let's see where we go. Okay, so we can... Oh my goodness, what? I can pick out... Lucky Block Island? Really? Okay, so there's... There's one block and then there's Lucky Block. I'm gonna go with Lucky Block. I'm actually genuinely curious. Oh my god, what? Okay, this is kind of annoying. The fact that that hologram is right in the way of me trying to do this. That's a lot of stuff I'm getting from the get-go. I'm gonna use my my dirt right away to expand this a little bit. Also, really glad that they decided to utilize the texture of the Lucky Block from the official mod. Does anyone remember the Lucky Block mod? Does anyone remember that? Man. That mod was wild, but it was so fun. I have so many fond memories of that mod. I should probably get back into that at some point. We're getting lava, okay. A lot of stuff over here. You know what? Let's actually do some stuff. Let's get a chest. Because obvious reasons. If I fall down this freaking thing, I'm probably gonna die. We got cobblestone. We got a... Okay, cool. We get another chest. This island is gonna get crowded really, really quickly at this rate. It resets every hour. And then it turns into a diamond block, apparently. Oh, no. What? Okay. That's kind of... I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I don't like that. The fact that you have to wait for a full hour before you can use your lucky block again. Kinda seems like a shitty thing, to be honest. But hey, what do I know? Let's make some quick tools. Survival instincts, my friends. That's what you do. That's what you use. This is how we do it. This is how everyone is going to be playing Minecraft Skyblock. No, that's not how everyone is going to be playing one block. Yeah, this honestly really does suck. I'm kind of hoping that I will be able to upgrade this. Oh. I broke the lucky block texture. That was clearly not supposed to happen. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of lame. I am not a fan of that. So, let's try that again, shall we? Oh, wait, what? Apparently I already had joined that server once. I'm an idiot. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? I should log in first before I do anything else. Oh, I'm already logged in. Nice. Give me a list of Minecraft servers with one block. Do that again, please. Okay, so now it's giving me a proper list. Okay, let's try this one. And this time I'm probably not gonna... Oh, that's the wrong thing. This time I don't think I'm gonna... let's add it to my server list. Why not? Should be good. Complex gaming. I love... Oh my goodness. Okay, that is really cool. There's Bunnelby. There's a Butterfree up there. Okay, you can tell that these guys love Pokemon, and I love it. There's a Survival SMP over here, which appears to be enchanted, so I reckon that's a new thing that they added. Actually, they added so much stuff to it. Oh my god. That is insane. Apparently there's gonna be a new prison thing. And then there's Skyblock. Let's go. Yeah, get me that that resource pack. Oh. Oh my goodness. That is one, okay. That is complex indeed. Okay. Sure. Let's check this out then. There's the island panel. And we can make a casual or a competitive island. Let's just go for casual. And I want a classic island. Sure. Okay, this isn't necessarily what I was hoping it to be, but, you know, it'll do. That seems a little bit overkill, but okay. No. You know what? I was hoping... I don't think this has one block at all. I was asking for a one block ChatGPT, not whatever this is. Okay, let's just go for an SMP. Let's just go for something classic. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I see what you're doing. To start building, type /RTP lost /help to get started. Okay. There's a server guide, there's the main menu, then there's the rules, of course, which are all on separate websites. Okay then. Let's see what happens. We can teleport to the overworld, resource world, the nether. You can teleport to the end? Really? But... oh, you need a certain amount of money for that. Okay. But why though? Fine then. And we immediately start with iron tools, and I immediately spawn here during the night. That's a wonderful beginning to survival. That's gonna be an absolute nightmare. Now, if you know anything about me, and if you know anything about my Minecraft skills, you know they're basically non-existent, so... it's gonna be a challenge, no matter which way you swing it. I kinda don't want to stay here. I'm gonna get away from here. Also, someone was already here, apparently. Looks like it. What difficulty is this set, actually? It's on hard! Oh, God. That means that... oh, there's all kinds of wolves over here. That was definitely not supposed to happen. Did I just unlock a... apparently not. There's all sorts of wolves around here. There's an Enderman over there. Okay, I'm gonna... oh, that did not work. Okay. I was hoping that I was gonna be able to tame that wolf over there. But no. Not happening. This is some wild... what? Is this a custom map that somebody built, actually? I feel like someone might have went and created this map in World Painter. Which is a thing you can do. You can actually just create your own world if you want it. And make something truly fantastic. I feel like that is essentially what happened here. Not that I'm complaining or anything, just a little something I noticed. Okay, yeah, someone definitely was here before. Because this stuff, I guarantee this does not spawn naturally. I wonder, is this some kind of faction thing? Or is this, literally just an SMP? Or... I have no freaking clue what this is. Okay, I'm gonna disable that chat, because that chat is driving me nuts. Alright. Is it a bad idea to be building here? Probably. But I don't care. We're gonna do it here. Oh! Oh, my sweet Grievous. Do foxes... Apparently foxes hunt... Apparently wolves hunt foxes. I had no idea about that. That's funny though. Apparently... Okay. Keep inventory is enabled. And I am definitely not complaining about that, because keep inventory is key. Let's do another one of those. No! I lost the wolves! I was hoping that I was gonna spawn in that same area. I was really hoping for that, because I... really wanted to have a wolf around me when I was doing my survival. Oh well. It's what it is. There we go. I was already wondering, like, can't I drop on any of my shit at all? That seems weird. At the very least, this isn't a hardcore server. I watched a couple of videos the other day of some people playing on these hardcore SMP servers, and the server was set up so that if you died, you would still spectate the world. I'm gonna die so horribly. Okay. This is definitely not doing me any favors whatsoever. Is that... Okay, the Iron Golem is fine. Cool. Let's just do that again, shall we? I absolutely suck at this, if you can't tell. Now I know that there's a couple of SMP servers where you can also play with proximity chat, which I do not have. Maybe I will look into getting proximity chat working if the server even has it. Because that could potentially be cool. Oh, you can do jobs in this! Yo! I didn't even... Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do a mining job, and that is apparently the only thing that I can do. Waiting for that is just gonna take forever, isn't it? Okay. Also, I don't know if this, makes use of a real-time timer. So... It's honestly, a lot of this is just really, how do I put this? Oh, the Shogun. Yeah, I really appreciate how how much detail there is to this server, because there's so much going on here. What? That was not supposed to happen. Is there a better position for me to view this beautiful work of art? Apparently not. This is Sky Mall. Oh, please tell me I can get out of here. I can. Okay. Yeah. I am convinced that I'm convinced that this is some kind of faction server now. Which, you know what? That is all fine by me. I think that's really cool. Because I have not played on a faction server in literally forever. And I think this is something that I could potentially make really fun. Is there a faction? There is, okay. Oh. Oh! I did not mean to do that. Okay. I feel like I could potentially make something really fun out of that server. We'll have to wait and see. We're probably gonna do something fun with that. Oh, you're here. Oh, God. Sorry about that. Let's actually just go on the Minecraft server. Why not? Now, what I was thinking of doing lately is I absolutely adore this big house that I made, but I feel like I'm not exactly utilizing the space very efficiently. And I don't think I'm even gonna do that, period, even if I was to do something with all of this stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of all of these chests that I literally put down for no apparent reason. We're gonna dig down. I'm gonna make a giant hole in the middle of this. And we're gonna make some kind of a basement. And I'm gonna be honest, I have literally no reason to do this. Other than, let's just fuck around and find out. We're gonna make the hole right over here. In the middle of the frickin' room. So here's how we do it. The idea is that I will soon have a big ass basement for me to put whatever I want. And I can basically just expand that basement as far as I would want. And I potentially will be doing that. And I will be doing it. And the reason why I want to do that is so that I can experiment a little bit with some crazy build ideas that I have. It's a little bit ambitious, maybe a little bit excessive and unnecessary. But this is something that I want to do. And I'm gonna do it. Because, I don't know, I think it could be fun to experiment a little bit with this. It's not gonna look pretty, but I will do my best. I mean, my builds never really look pretty. I'm not the greatest builder in the world. I do try. I genuinely do try, but I'm just really not the greatest builder. Okay, I think this is about far enough. Because otherwise the hole would just end up becoming way too large. And I would end up with so much garbage that I don't even know where to put it. I mean, that's pretty much gonna happen regardless, so... Oh well. We'll see. Let's just get all of this. This is gonna cost me so much stuff, you guys. You have no idea. Or maybe you do. If you've ever built anything in Minecraft, you probably know how many resources it often takes to build literally anything. And people just burn through their experience or their resources like nobody's business a lot of the time. Oh, oops. Oh my goodness, can I stop doing that? Where's the cobble? Here's the cobble. Oh my goodness. I can't mine for craps. Doesn't help that I have one of the most overpowered freaking axes in the whole game. Yeah. It's gonna be a fun little experiment for me. I have a couple of ideas for this basement too. For one thing, I would like to build a massive library down here at some point. A home theater, probably a master bedroom. I already have a pretty decent bedroom. But, it's not exactly what I would consider a master bedroom. I found somebody's cave, I think. Is this somebody's cave? It does look like it. Well, it's maybe not somebody's cave, but it is a cave. Which is cool, but it's also, a little annoying because you kind of need to border it up now. Because I don't really want to constantly be dropping myself into... Like that I just did. I don't want to constantly be dropping into it, so... I'm gonna border it up. And I will probably do it with a bunch of stone bricks. Since I absolutely love the look of stone bricks. I think they're really cool to look at. But we'll have to wait and see how I do it. Yeah, I'm gonna border all of this up. I'm gonna make it a little prettier later on as I go on with this. Don't worry, but this is just a temporary solution. Temporary solutions are never pretty. Never were, never will be. But it doesn't matter if it's pretty. If it's functional, that's all that matters. At least that's what I think. This is honestly one of the most chill things to do in the whole game. Just sitting back and just mine at your heart's content. With some very chill music in the background. This is one of my favorite things to do. Believe it or not, this is actually one of my most favorite things to do in the whole game. Besides the building and finding monsters and whatnot, this is one of my favorite things to do. Mostly because it's just a really good way to zone out for a little bit and just loosen up. Don't worry about anything. Just enjoy. Enjoy the moments. Yeah. One thing I should probably check also, by the way, is how the stream has been doing, because the last couple of streams I've had a couple of I've had a few problems. Stream is doing fine, which I'm really happy about. The reason why I just wanted to check is because the last few times I wanted to stream on here, I've had a couple of problems, and I needed to troubleshoot the stream as I went, and it's always really annoying when that happens, because live streaming already is a really, I don't want to say it's annoying, because I don't necessarily find it an annoying endeavor. But it can definitely be frustrating when you have to troubleshoot as you stream. Means you have to pause everything, and especially if you're on Twitch, there isn't really a good way for you to stop the stream without literally stopping the stream right there. And in some cases, there is just no fix to whatever problem you have, and at which point you have to pretty much stop the stream right there. I know that Kidikris had a lot of problems with his live streams for a while. I don't know if he still does, but he had so many problems at one point that there was a whole series of live streams that he basically just canceled right then and there, because he got so frustrated with it that he didn't want to continue doing those. He does still stream from time to time today, but he just has so many problems with doing his live streams that he just doesn't do it as often anymore, which I honestly get, because you would be amazed at the amount of problems that he has to deal with on such a frequent basis when he even bothers trying to live stream. There is one stream VOD on his Caddy Plays channel that was titled streaming literally nothing for 90 minutes, I believe it was. And it was literally just him trying to troubleshoot so much crap with his live stream, because literally everything about that live stream broke. His webcam decided to break, the game capture, everything. So he just decided to do literally nothing for that entire live stream. And instead he just sat down and had a chat with his audience. Which is just wild to me that is even a thing that can happen. He also guarantees that his live streams always, he always troubleshoots and tests everything very, very thoroughly before he hits go on his streaming software. I think this is about as deep as I want to go, actually. Yeah, we're gonna call it here. We're gonna call it here. I'm making this way too tall, but that's okay. Yeah, let's just do it like this. This, I think, is about right. So this right here is my basement. Or it's gonna become my basement at the very least. The start for it is already here. And now I just have to make everything pretty and look good. And that should be pretty fun to do. I'm definitely really excited to do that. Yeah. I'm actually gonna call it here because my voice is kind of starting to hurt after live streaming this for a bit. Hello, Wandering Trader. How are you doing? And there he goes. And there goes the other llama. Yeah, I know, it's terrible. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here, guys. My throat is starting to hurt, and I think I had a pretty good run doing this. I know this was a little bit of a weird one. But I just wanted to do a quick live stream, just having a little bit of fun, playing some Minecraft and talking about something very close to my heart, which is, of course, Disney movies and animation as a whole, and the state of it here in... I was gonna say the state of it here in the Netherlands, but I guess the state of Disney and DreamWorks is kind of dire in general as of late, but oh well. I want to thank all of you guys for watching this live stream. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And I will see you all in the next one.